I was extremely lucky to have a balanced family. My father was always extremely calm, balanced, never got angry, never got agitated. In fact, I wonder even now, looking at all the tricks that I was up to, how did he keep his patience? And so did my mother. They gave me freedom, they pampered me, but never spoiled me. When situation demanded to be firm, they were firm, and the right words were chosen. He never shouted at me, but just the tone, the language, I could understand. Even when I was literally 3-4-year-old, I knew exactly, I'm not supposed to do this. So, with children, after becoming a father, I understood that you need to be patient. Sometimes on the field you tend to lose patience. You play some rash shot, but here you have to be careful. As far as parenting is concerned, I wouldn't want to take any credit at all. Person right behind me, I would like to give her all the credit, and more so because we both were doing well in our careers. And when you clearly know that you have a promising future, exceptional future ahead, and that is when an individual decides to take a back seat, it takes a lot of courage. I've openly thanked her on a number of occasions. I would want to thank her in front of the medical fraternity also for everything that she's done. And above all, bringing up Sarah and Arjun so beautifully. With my career, when I started playing cricket and started traveling, it happened quite early. I must have been literally 13 or so. And that is when I had to go to Indore for a month to attend a national camp. And those were the days without mobiles, internet, all these fancy gadgets were not available. So only local phone call, whatever, and that's it. And if you were to communicate with your family, you had to write letters. My parents gave me a lot of freedom at that time. They had that confidence in me. My father had his own way of communicating whatever he had to me in a subtle way, where I still remember I was going for a month and I was standing with my parents, and my mother, obviously being mother, was worried. She said, "No, please eat this, do that." And my father was telling her, "You don't understand. He's the sharpest and cleverest amongst all of us. He knows, he's 13-year-old now, he's matured and he's a brainy guy." I felt, wow, this is brilliant. At the age of 13, you don't understand reverse psychology, how it works. But then today I look back and I think that, with that freedom, somewhere my subconscious mind also it registered that with freedom comes responsibility. I should not misuse that freedom. So those are subtle messages, I think, which parents give us. Or rather, if we are not able to then, through this book, it is not just about the physical health of your child. I think fitness also involves mental health, mental conditioning. And to have your child in a good space mentally, parents have to spend enough time with them to understand their likes and their dislikes, to understand what they are passionate about, which my parents did. And I got supported in the right direction, and I was extremely passionate about cricket. So it worked really well for me. I didn't count the number of hours that I practiced. And even after practicing the whole day, my parents were working in the opposite direction. They would come all the way from, my mother would work with LIC, Santa Cruz. She would catch a bus and come all the way to Shivaji Park just to spend half an hour with me and again go back to Bandra. And I was staying at Shivaji Park with my uncle and my aunt because commuting was much easier for me. But that gesture from my parents at that age, 13, you don't realize, 12, 13, you feel, oh, my parents they're meant to be here, they're supposed to be here. But with other commitments and engagements, to consistently do that requires a lot of effort. And in those days, obviously, didn't have fancy cars, so buses and trains were the only way of the safest way we felt to travel, and commuting was not so easy. I started playing for India after that, and before that, got to spend a lot of time with my coach, Acharya sir. Coaches, gurus, I would say are like our parents because we end up spending so much time with them. We learn so many things from them. Sir was strict at times, extremely strict I would say, and also caring and loving. So sir didn't say well played to me ever. I knew कि आज शाम को अगर sir has taken me to have bhel puri or pani puri, sir is happy. I have done something nice on field. So that was his way of conveying his feelings. When I went to England and played for India, got back, people had heard about me, and then I ended up meeting a medical student in 1990 who happens to be in this room. And we started chatting with each other quite a bit, got to know each other, and that is when I heard so many good things about Tendulkar sir. Well, I said, for months on end, she would just keep praising me. I said, in my school, it was difficult to like my teachers so much. I prefer to be on cricket field rather than classroom. But for her, she, even now, after so many years, I start talking about Tendulkar sir, and you can clearly see on her face that her face immediately changes, and she's so appreciative of his contribution in her life and what she is today. And I think without our guru's commitment, dedication and selflessness, I don't think we would be in this position at all. So a big thank you to you for being so selfless and making her what she is today. On a lighter note, I remember my school teacher telling me, an apple a day would keep a doctor away from me. And I religiously followed that for many years till I met a doctor. And then I felt like telling my teacher that an apple a day with Dr. along your side is a better option. But sir, this book I'm sure everyone is going to read and learn a lot of things from this book. Even when there is a doctor, to have a good partnership in life, you still need